Hello, it's Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day, Monday night / Tuesday morning Zoom edition, depending on where in the world you are. Bitcoin has dropped below 90 again, which is disappointing. And I want to talk a little bit about the digital gold label it's received because it doesn't seem to be in play at the moment. I'll share my screen. We'll look at Bitcoin. So this is the day chart, and we're below all the moving averages, 20, 50, and 200. And yeah, 88.7 at the moment. We're up a little bit. We have two green candles forming, and we'll look at crypto bubbles in a moment. It'll show that the last 24 hours at least have been um, positive for the market overall. We are at or really close to a support area around 85,000. We'll see if that holds. Ethereum, the structure looks very similar, below all the moving averages as well, and support for that one for Ethereum seems to be about 2,800. Um, yeah, I was looking at Kyle Chassie's posts today. He wrote gold is moving up, but the Bitcoin has not followed it. Gold is moving because people are terrified. Shutdown odds, government shutdown, 79%. Tariffs are back in play. Global desks are cutting risk fast, moving capital to the safest corners of the market. Confidence is breaking, and money will pay anything for certainty. So that's what gold is presumably providing now, and metals always move first, according to Kyle. So that seems to be why gold is outperforming Bitcoin at the moment, and we'll see how that plays out. But this is a dip. You may want to accumulate if you're a hodler. Not financial advice, but we are at support or very close to support since November. We had that big drop, and a couple dips since then have been around this area, around the 85,000 area. So between here and 90 would be a potential good entry for Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. Between 2,800 and 3,000 would be a potentially good area to pick some up. That's all I have for the markets overall. Um, Anyone else want to chime in on anything? I can check the chat. No. Okay. All right. Well, let's go to the markets. I mean, I made a long trade yesterday that worked out pretty well. So, yesterday being my Monday, and we'll see if we can find some more like that. We'll start with crypto bubbles. Actually, I moved over to the coin market cap a little while ago. But here's crypto bubbles. And as you can see, it's mostly a green day. Axie had a big move, and some others as well that I've been trading lately. Zcash, Chiliz, ADA, and we'll go to some of those alerts. Okay, sorting by the day. Let's look at Axie. That's been the big mover. And it's been a while since I traded this one. And quick review of my day trading layout, 15-minute chart, support and resistance on the supply and demand visible range by Lux Algo, free indicator that you can pick up on TradingView using this button. And then I've got the RTI that I use for, entries and alerts. alerts and entries, cumulative delta for confirmation, though I don't use that very often anymore. So at the moment, we're above the 80 on the RTI. So the alert you see before you is a break above the 80 and then a dip. That's something I consider for a short trade. And if it dips below the 20, comes back up, like what happened here, that can be a long trade. So the long trade structure plays out here, get in right about here, and you can see it made a 23% move, which is an amazing day trade. We got a fake out on the short, so it broke down below the 80, but it didn't hold. It jumped back up, and had I made that trade on Monday morning on my time, I'd still be in it. So yeah, my alert, right click on the RTI. Condition would be entering a channel, 80 on top, 20 on the bottom, and message. I usually use the information source, so I mean crypto bubbles. Notification, notify my app on my smartphone, toast notifications, a pop-up on my laptop, play a sound also on my laptop, and there's a few to choose from. I like 3 notes reverb for my day trades, and click create, and you're good to go. I won't be doing that because I already have an alert. Okay, so let's look at this. Well, that's the day trade approach. Let's look at this as a swing trade, and that's over here on my 1 hour chart. Same indicators for support and resistance. And then I use SuperTrend for entries and alerts, and Trendilo LSMA for confirmation. At the moment, Axie has a buy signal and LSMA pointing almost straight up. So if you took that now, 7%, 2 days to the bottom of the red zone, about 11% to the top. It's a little closer to resistance than I would like to see for a swing trade. Let's look at the 4 hour chart, see if we get a better. No, it's about the same. 8 hour, about the same. Yeah, so the other longer intervals are showing that this area here, this 297, just below $3, is a recent high for Axie. So that's going to be the resistance, and it'll need to break through that to make a large move. Okay, we'll go see what else we can find. And all right, Robin is suggesting we look at some gold coins, PAXG and XAUT. I'm not familiar with those, but let's see if I can find a chart for those. PAXG, PAXG USD. Okay, well that's on Coinbase. Okay, so on the day trade, we're right at the middle range, coming out of the green zone. And about a 1% move into the red zone, 2.4 to the top of the red zone. So that's not a bad day trade. This might maybe looks better on as a swing trade. Let's look at that. Nah, it doesn't look good at all as a swing at the moment. Um, all the indicators are down. If you want to be a contrarian, yeah, say about 2% to the top of the red zone. We can look at some longer time frames. Yeah, we're at the top of the zone, much like we were on Axie. So I'm not seeing a setup that I like. Another option would be to set an alert, say above the red zone around 5,200, see if it breaks through with some force, and then try to catch that move if that's what's going to happen. So let's try the other one he recommended. All right, Tether Gold. Interesting. Okay, it's all over the place. Look at a blowfin chart. I've been working with these guys lately, and might be running some auto trading with them. Anyway, yeah, this looks really similar to what we just looked at with PAX. It's in the middle zone on the day trade layout, and it's a smaller move, less than 1% to the top of the zone. As a swing, yeah, it looks about the same. Indicators are against us. We're coming out of resistance. I don't like this setup at all. This is something you have to look at to see if it just breaks through the resistance. Yeah, because we're at resistance now. So that's all I have on that. Um, Thanks for your suggestion, Robin. Appreciate it. And let's go back to crypto bubbles and see if we can find a crypto um, that's a little more active. Chili's I talked about a little while ago. I don't think we looked at the chart yet, though. And let's go to the RTI.
Wow.
Yeah. So the coins that have been moving look like this. They're at resistance. They've essentially set up a resistance. They're well above the 80 on the RTI. So these have potential short trades once they dip again. But we're at about 100 now with the RTI. So I've showed you how to do the setup to catch the next dip for a short. Well, the dip and then the retrace would be a long, and then we've already broken above the 80. So returning from that would be the short play. And yeah, I'm not going to show that again. So let's go over to the swing trade option. And whoa, like Paul said, yeah, wow. So this one's really taken off, at the top of the red zone. I've got a buy signal, but right at resistance. Longer term, okay. Well, we have a buy signal in Trendilo LSMA pointing up. We're at the middle on the swing chart, and the red zone's just under 10%, give or take, in 9 days. 1% a day, not bad for a swing. So, but if the news goes the other way, if there's, some settlement with the tariffs, or, the government shutdown gets kicked to the corner, then this might some of these coins might come down, might go up. Who knows? It's kind of strange to have the world events affecting crypto so much. All right, so that's chilies and crypto bubbles. The other one I like to look at is CoinGecko. So we will see some overlap and sort by the 24-hour. A few different. Pump.fun. Zcash is in here again. I've got an alert on that one. Okay, we'll look at pump.fun. And it is on Coinbase. I knew that. Yeah, it's above the 80 as well. So set your alert. I don't know if you can short this though. So you might want to catch the next dip below 50. Sometimes when they're moving like this, they don't make it all the way down to the 20. But last time it did, it made a really nice move. That was on Sunday afternoon. So it broke down below 20 here and then broke back up right about here. And 11% in a day. So that's a really good day trade. Swing trade. Yeah, we got the indicators are on board, but we're at resistance. Go to the 4-hour. Well, got 10% to the top of the red zone in about 10 days. Haven't really seen a swing trade that I like that much. I like to catch them down here and have, resistance way up here. Okay, well, on a long swing trade, this looks pretty good. We've got a buy signal, green Trendilo LSMA, and then we're in the green zone for support. Resistance here at about 20% in 55 days, 64% in 78, 88 and 90. The bottom of the red zone, 153%, 116 days. That's pretty good. It's just a way longer trade than I want to do. But if you want to hang on to one that long, this could be a candidate for that. All right. And then Zcash I wanted to look at too. And you can see I have my alert set there, but we're at resistance. We're above the 80 at the RTI. But again, last time it's dipped below 20, made a pretty big move when it came back. That occurred right about here. And, almost 10% that day. So that's a pretty good move, good day trade. So I suggest setting your alerts and making sure it makes the move you want it to make. And check Bitcoin as well before you make any trades. See that its action supports you. Once I do this overall analysis, I usually move it over to the 15-minute and then look to see if that matches what I want to do. We'll see a trend up for longs and red candles for shorts. Okay, so Zcash has a swing. Yeah, like all the bigger movers right at resistance on the hour chart. So the indicators are on board. All right, so this looks a little better. Got strong candle action coming out of the green zone, a buy signal, but we don't have the Trendilo yet. So this, I mean, resistance 21% in 12 days, 30% in 19 days. Those are really good swing trades. So that's appealing. I'd probably set an alert around here at 385 to see if by the time it broke through that, if that changed the Trendilo. Trendilo LSMA is not alert friendly, unfortunately. Um, Try to set an alert on it. I guess you could have if it's crossing a certain value, you can set an alert that way. So like this value here around, say above this area here would probably turn the Trendilo green. What I'd like to do is just have it say, what is it turning green? But it doesn't really give me that option. So it can set it for a number or a price alert, something like that, and then get in when that happens. All right, well, that's Zcash. And we've got one more option to look at. Let's go to CoinMarketCap and the crypto community. So this is sentiment, what people feel. Crypto can be an emotional type trade. So, what people are feeling is good, can be useful in trading. Bullish sentiment, Algo on the top. That's interesting. All right. Pax Gold, we looked at that one. And some, older projects, ADA, XRP, DOT. Let's look at Algo. So this one is just dipped below the 80, though just kind of a sideways slanting dip. I want to see this kind of dip. That's what makes me more likely to move on it. Got one red candle on the 15-minute on Bitcoin. So it's not a strong move. I think I pass on this as a short at the moment. Um, but you can certainly set an alert, your 80-20 alert that I showed you before. Let's see. Look at this as a swing. And the indicators are on board, but we're at resistance on the 1 hour. 4 hour looks better. Buy signal, Trendilo just pointed up. %9, 14% in 13 days. Not bad. 15%, 19 days. It's okay. I don't know. I don't really like Algo as a longer term performer. Trying to think if I've even day traded this one before. Um, yeah, sort of a bias I've had against it. I have day traded it, but not swing traded it. That's what I meant. So if you want to swing, go for it. Um, not financial advice. All right, so that's Algo on the bullish side. If you're looking for something to short, got the bearish sentiment over here. Zcash is here. Litecoin's been in this category for a while with this analysis. Okay, I haven't looked at this one in a while. It's down below 70. It's at 100 for a while. Let's check it out. Okay, Litecoin is a day trade above the 80, dipping on the RTI. But it had a, I don't know if that broke the 80 or not, but had a bounce off the 80 recently. Uh, yeah, you could set up the alerts that I've showed you before on the 80-20 on the RTI. Let's look at a swing. Buy signal. Yeah, we got nice alert action, but we're at resistance like we have been for most of these. On the 4-hour though, got big retrace potential, at least visually. 8% here, 13% here, 17.5% in 16 days potentially. It's not bad, but not great either. Litecoin just doesn't usually move enough for me to be interested in it as a day or a swing trade, but this 4-hour chart looks pretty good at least. So take that into consideration. All right, well, that's about all I have for my usual review. Any coins you want to look at or issues to talk about before I sign off? All right, Paul and Robin, thanks for joining, and good good review, though most of the coins we looked at were pretty similar. Anyway, you guys
Is the
have a good
recording off?
you guys have a good trading week. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Is